Okay. It is not. Okay. All right. Where'd it go? Here we go. Okay. You know this book I told you I just finished? So listen to this. Obedience does not mean blind subservience. It is not being disobedient to the Pope when the Pope disobeys God. What did St. Peter say? When the Sanhedrin, the hierarchy of his day, tried to tell them to not do what Jesus commanded them to do. Because what did Jesus command? Right? Just the last words before he ascends to heaven. Matthew chapter 28. Go now, go forth to all nations, all people, all time, and teach them everything that I have taught you, and baptize them in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And know I will be with you who are faithful to the end of time. Right? That was Jesus' command. So then they're doing that, right, in the temple area, and they get arrested twice. The first time the angel let them out, they go rearrest them, bring them into Acts chapter 5. And the Sanhedrin say, hey, we told you to quit preaching about this Jesus. Quit preaching in his name. You're trying to bring his blood down upon our heads. And remember, I've said to you before, listen, you asked for that yourselves in front of Pilate. You said, let his blood be on our head and on our children. They got the wish in the year 70 AD. Well, what did Peter say when they said, quit talking, to shut up, not say anything more? Peter said, we must obey God rather than man. So you see, we are not being disobedient to a pope who's an apostate. We are being obedient to God. Never think you're being disobedient when some apostate pope, bishop, or cardinal tells you to do something contrary to the dogma of the church, the deposit of faith. They don't have a right to change it. They're acting, as we would say in the law, ultra vires, outside the scope of their authority, right? So that's like saying, well, what's a proper way to display disobedience to the Fuhrer, to Adolf Hitler? That you're not being disobedient to Adolf Hitler. No, you're being obedient to God. Remember it this way. The people who hid Anne Frank allegedly were being disobedient. The people who killed Anne Frank were being obedient. So let's get the term right about what obedience really means. And obedience does not mean blind subservience. So let me put out a little, here it is. Here you go. So this is Peter Kwasniewski. Yeah, I'm not even saying his name correctly because it has a lot of unusual letters and not enough vowels. There it is. It's True Obedience in the Church by Dr. Peter Kwasniewski, a guide to discernment in challenging times. It's a very short, it's a short book. It's like 70, 80 pages. Very easy to read. It's small. It's not even the size of a normal book. It's small. So if you want to answer your question, this guy, a doctor, a PhD, he gives the best summation for it. Do your homework and buy this book. I don't get any royalties from Peter Kwasniewski for promoting this. But this book I've read, I've highlighted it. This isn't my copy. I've given away a bunch of these because they're just that good. And they answer that question specifically. Understand this. You have one duty and one duty only. You are to obey God rather than men.